Welcome back to Alpha Tactics. Today we're going to use a cantaloupe to see if 5.7 is still a good has ever been a good everyday carry option. So you see these in like rap videos and whatnot where they've got the 5.7 on them, and it's cool because it can carry so many rounds. The Palmetto State Armory Rock, not Dwayne Johnson but the gun, can carry 23 rounds, classic one-up fashion by Palmetto over the FN's 20 round capacity. But that's what makes it cool. But with the 5.7 moving so fast, is it reliable or something you can count on for self-defense? So we'll find that out by using these melons here to test entrance and exit wound and see if it is a big difference between 9mm, a very common carry round, versus the 5.7. So today we're going to find out if you get shot in your cantaloupe, if you can still elope. So we're going to start off with the good old FN fast boys, around 2,000 feet per second on these. So obviously, if you're going to be carrying, you don't want it to be, I guess, a full metal jacket or anything like that. You kind of want to go for a hollow point, but we're going to try both. So usually typical self-defense I think is around 6 to 7 foot, but as Alan puts it, I can't shoot for nothing, so I'm going to get around 3. And hopefully this doesn't end up like the roulette video. Try to get a good shot on this. I think that was a good one. All right, so fairly devastating. If you're this far on somebody's execution distance, then I guess, kind of expect it. But pretty clean hole in it. Pretty much nothing on the entry, you can see. But 5.7 seems to be pretty effective on your melon. Let's try the 9mm. Up next, full metal jacket 9mm. So I've also got a hollow point behind this, but we won't shoot that until we do the FN first. So that's the one I've already shot. Let's look and see what the full metal jacket, let me move back just a little bit, does on this one. Good old center shot. And seeing how it rolled over, I can see what happened. So before it falls through our hole that was created through a recent video, if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But looks like they're identical. I really can't even tell. So this is going to be the exit. Entrance right here. You can kind of tell how it pushed it in, and then this side everything's kind of coming out. So pretty clean, didn't explode it. Didn't really expect full metal jacket to anyway, but kind of surprising that 5.7 moving faster made a bigger exit wound. So let's move on to the hollow points. So next up, we're going to use gold dot, and just like the FN, it's also a 40 grain bullet, but it's a hollow point. So it's moving 200 feet slower than the FN was. And if you can see that, I don't know if that's going to pick up well on the camera, but there's a small hole in there that you can probably fit a safety needle through, and that's about it. So we're going to see if this is any different compared to the FN really fast boys. And we'll hit this fresh melon with the good old hollow point on the 5.7 and see if there's any difference. I can already tell by that entrance wound there's a lot different. So you can tell it kind of starfish patterned that entry, which is kind of nuts to see how much that bullet opened up right on impact. And actually the exit wound's smaller, but the cracks are bigger. So pretty nuts how that worked out. As soon as that round hit, I think it just kind of opened, and that's where you get your little cracks from. It's actually a pretty good little slicing tool. That's how people like to eat it anyway. So here folks, you get to slice your cantaloupe with 5.7. All right, little Hornady self-defense action out of the superior round, in my opinion, that's changing and I'm starting to eat my words on. But good old 9mm Hornady self-defense. We'll see if this hollow point looks a little bit different than that full metal jacket did on the 9mm, and see if it does anything better than the 5.7 did. I'm still right. Well, this shows if you want to open a melon, 9mm might do the trick a little bit better than 5.7 does. And that's kind of not why 5.7 was made anyway. So 9mm is going to do this. Hollow point is going to spread open a little bit bigger. It's a far larger round. And you kind of expect that. I didn't expect quite that dramatic of an explosion, but it makes sense. So 5.7 was made not for just going into a unprotected surface and, you know, ending the threat faster. It was made because it was a lighter round. They could carry more of it, and then they could also have a rifle chambered in it, or a submachine gun chambered in it, as well as their sidearm. That was another reason behind it. But we're going to see if we take both of those rounds and put them against kind of the same thing that the 5.7 was made for. Is the 5.7 still better? Because I think 9mm won this test. New test toys. We're going to use the MP5 or the AP5 and the PS90. So real quick, what we got? Italian ceramic tile. Now this is pretty high dollar stuff. You want to put it in your shower or in your bathroom or whatever, on your floor, outside, patio. Anyways, it's not body armor, but we're too broke to afford body armor until y'all start hitting that subscribe button. So make sure you're doing that. But it is ceramic, and a lot of body armor does use ceramic. A lot of the better body armor uses ceramic. So will this piece of ceramic, if it's got the same integrity as what they use in some of the body armor, help our melon friend back here on protecting his melon? We're gonna find out. First up in our YouTube compliant 29 round magazine is the VMAX by FN. And let's see if the round that's known to penetrate can penetrate what it's penetrating. In this episode of Yours is the Perfect Size, so we definitely busted that up quite a bit till that plate shattered, obviously. And check this out. The gun's empty. Just for you internet nerds out there, whatever. Nothing. So we got a little bit of a brush right here that the plate might have hit a little bit of, but I think if that was you, you'd still be alive. So let's see if the 9mm does anything different. Upon further investigation, there was a little bit of a jacket in it, but it's fine. So next up, we got the good old AP5, sorry, not an HK because we're too broke for that. Shooting the full metal jacket, 115 grain 9mm. So let's see what that bad boy does. You boys know I couldn't do this part without giving y'all the good old HK slap. So now on this episode of Don't Worry, He's Just My Friend. Now it is good to note that 5.7 was made to go through Kevlar, not necessarily ceramic, but body armor in general. So you can see that 9mm definitely tore it apart, just like the 5.7 did. But the question is, yeah, I don't think you made it. So that's actually kind of funny. I guess 9mm being that bigger round has a better chance of making it through that harder surface. But kind of makes sense. You can see there's jacket and everything else off in here. So safe to say that if this is you or whoever you're shooting at, they're probably not doing too great after that. So something to think about, I guess. Pretty interesting video for you guys today. I appreciate you guys watching. Those of you 5.7 guys out there that still think your caliber's superior, you suck and so do I at slapping charging handles. Thank y'all for watching Alpha Tactics. We'll see you in the next one.